seniors, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing the UC application, and I'm going to be walking you step by step through the whole application. So let's go ahead and get started. So you're going to want to look up UC application, and I will have a link in the description. This is the exact link that you can click to start the application. So on this first page, you're going to go ahead and click start your application, and you're going to, if you don't already have an account, you're going to select create an account. You are going to have to use your email and confirm your email as well as create a password. And you want to make sure that the email that you use is not your school email. You want to make sure that it is your personal email. Once you do that, you can go ahead and check the little box and create accounts. Next, you will see this screen, and all you have to do is start application. It does give you a quick little list of what you will need in order to complete this application, which is some of your basics that you usually need, which is your social security number, your parents' income for 2019. You're going to need your transcript so that you can fill in every grade that you've gotten from 9th through 12th grade. So you can go ahead and just select start application. So the first thing that you're going to do is fill out the About You section. So first off, in the About You section is the personal information. So you will go ahead and put down your name, middle name if you have one, last name. And once you do that, you will be asked for more contact information. So you'll be asked what your address is. So you go ahead and fill that out, as well as your phone number, any alternate phone number that you might have. And lastly, you will be asked if the UC can share your contact information with all UC campuses and programs, and you will go ahead and save and continue. Next is the Citizenship and Residency section, so you will go ahead and select Go to Personal Information. On this page, you will go ahead and list your country of citizenship, which for most of you should be the United States, and you will be asked if you have a social security number or an ITIN number. So you'll go ahead and select yes, and you will go ahead and put down that number. So this next section asks if by the time you attend the UC, if you will have already graduated from a California high school. So you will go ahead and select yes, and it will also ask if by the time you attend UC, if you've attended a California school for 3 or more years, and that can be either from kindergarten through 12th grade. The reason that they ask these questions is to make sure that you pay in-state tuition rather than out-of-state tuition. So once you save and continue, you will go ahead and answer questions about demographics. So it will ask what your ethnicity is. So you go ahead and list down what your ethnicity/ancestry is, as well as your gender and sexual orientation. Once you have done that, you can go ahead and save and continue, which takes us to your background. So we'll ask you what your first language was, as well as any other languages that you might have spoken. On the same page, they want to know a little bit more about you. So if any of the following apply to you, go ahead and check one of those boxes. If none of them do, then go ahead and select none of the above apply to me. And lastly, they want to know if you are a dependent of a U.S. military veteran or service member. So go ahead and make your selection and save and continue. Next, they want to know about your household. So you already listed your home address, so that will be there where that black box is. They also want to know who lives with you at your permanent home. So once you make that selection, which will either be one parent, two parents, legal guardians, or others, they will also ask what your family's total income was in 2019. So you go ahead and list that under income. And next, they want to know how many people were supported by that income. So what was the size of your family's household in 2019? Go ahead and list that number and save and continue. So for the parent information section, you will go ahead and start with parent 1. So you will go ahead and make your selection regarding what their relationship is to you. So it could either be mom, dad, stepmom, stepdad. And then you will go ahead and select whether they are alive. And once you do that, they will ask a little bit more information. Something that they ask is what your parents' current job status is. So whether they are employed, a stay-at-home parent, unemployed, or retired. Then they will ask what the highest level of education was for that parent, as well as their contact information, and if that parent's address is the same as your home address. So once you do that, you can add another parent. If there is a second parent, or once you have one parent, you can go ahead and just save and continue. And that is it for the About You section. So this is a review page where you will just scroll all the way down and verify that all the information you listed down is correct. If it is not, you go ahead and select edit and make any changes. If it is correct, however, you can go ahead and save and continue, which will take us to the next section, which is selecting your campuses and majors that you will want to apply to. So the first page, they will ask you to agree to the UC values. So just take a quick read at those and check a box and save and continue. It will then ask what term and level you are applying for. So again, this is something that students get confused about. They often select the same year that they are currently in. So right now it is 2020. However, you are a senior, so by the time you are an undergraduate, it will be the school year of 2021-2022, and you will be starting fall. So make sure to make that selection, fall quarter semester 2021, and your application level will be a freshman because you are currently in high school, and you go ahead and save and continue. Next up, you will be able to see on the left-hand side whether you qualified for a fee waiver or not, and that was based off of your parents' 2019 income. So it will tell you whether you qualified or if you did not. If you do qualify, you are able to choose 4 schools for free. So here is a nice little map of all the UCs so that you know exactly where they are. And you just go ahead and make your selection. Go ahead and just click the box next to the name of the school that you would like to apply to and hit save and continue. So once you have done that, you will be asked to choose a major. So you will have listed the schools that you chose, and next to that, you will be asked to select a major. So the way that you do that, I will show you by selecting an alternate major. So the way that you choose a major and an alternate major is the same exact way. So you just click the button that says add major or add alternate major, and it will bring down a list of either the colleges or different categories that you can choose from. So for example, here is Davis, and I have already chosen computer science as the major, but right now I'm looking for an alternate major. So, I look down through the College of Ag, College of Biosci, or if I want to search through categories, this is what the category section looks like. So once you look through those, let me just go ahead and go back. So if your undeclared life sciences is going to be your alternate major, you select alternate major. If it is for your major, then go ahead and just select major. And all the way at the bottom, once you scroll down, you go ahead and just hit save and continue. And this is what it should look like. So it will again show all the schools that you selected that you wanted to apply for, and it will have listed the majors that you've chosen as well as alternate majors. You can always delete or edit them, and you can go ahead and save and continue to go to the next section. And it is not required for you to choose an alternate major. However, it is easier to do that so that the schools know what your number 2 choice is. So once you have done that, here is the review section for you to look at. Make sure that everything is correct. Once you verify that everything is correct, once again, you go ahead and hit save and continue, which takes us to the next section, which is academic history. So for this section, which is the most time-consuming section, besides the PAQs, of course, is having to list down all the classes that you've taken. So first, it'll ask about your 7th and 8th grade. So you might be asking why they want to know about 7th and 8th grade, because we always tell you that they look at 10, 11 GPA, and you might be assuming that they only care about 9th through 12th grade. However, there are some of you who are advanced in math, and you might have taken Algebra 1 in 7th or 8th grade, or even Geometry in 8th grade. So if that is the case, you will select yes to the question that asks, did you take any high school level math courses in 7th or 8th grade? So for most of you, it will either only be Algebra 1 and or Geometry, as well as if you took any language other than English course, which might be Spanish 1 or French 1 that was offered at your middle school. If you took any of those, you will go ahead and select yes. However, for most of you, it will be no. So you go ahead and select no or yes, whatever your case is. And it will also ask if you attended any school outside of the United States for any part of 6th through 8th grade. So if you did, go ahead and select yes. If you did not, go ahead and select no. Next, we're moving into high school. So you're going to go ahead and select add high school. And the way that you add a high school, you will select in California. It will then ask if you are homeschooled or independent study. So some of you might have done independent study at some point, and it's okay if you have to list a couple different high schools. There will be a search bar where you can either list the name of the school, the city, or the school code. So what I did, I just typed in Tennyson, hit search, and there's only one Tennyson High School. So I went ahead and just hit select. And here it popped up as Tennyson High School as well as the school code. It will then ask if your school had any type of specialized curriculum, which can either be a career pathway or an academy. I know some of your schools, for example, Tennyson has a biomed pathway. For some of your schools, they're called academies. So if that applies to your school, go ahead and select that. Another option, which no school of ours that I'm aware of, this doesn't apply to them, but it is International Baccalaureate or Magnet. However, none of the schools around here that I'm aware of are magnets or have IB. So you can go ahead and not select those. And then it will ask, when did you attend this high school? So you're going to go ahead and put your start date and year as well as the end date or year. For some of you, you might have started in August. For some of you, you might have started in September. Some of you graduate in May. Some of you graduate in June. So it all depends on your school. It will then ask what grades you attended this high school. So maybe you attended that high school all 4 years. So you put 9th grade, 2017, 2018, all the way through 12th grade with this school year. Or you might have gone to that school for 9th grade and then went somewhere else and then came back 11th and 12th grade. So make your selection and go ahead and also select next to the grade and the year if you took summer school courses that grade. So keep in mind that the summer still counts as the year prior. So for example, if you took a summer school course at the end of 9th grade, so between 9th and 10th grade, it is still considered your 9th grade year. And after that, we'll ask if this is a school that you'll be graduating from. So you either make your selection yes or no. And then it will ask what degree, diploma, or certification you will have received. So you're going to go ahead and select high/secondary school diploma and go ahead and make your selection as to when you will be receiving it. So when you'll be graduating, either May or June of 2021. And then go ahead and save and continue. On this page, it pretty much just has a summary of all the selections that you made, and once you verify all of that information, you can either add another high school or select that you're finished adding high schools. And once you hit that you're done, it will take you first to 9th grade, where you will go ahead and select enter courses and grades for the year 2017-2018, which is your 9th grade year. And this is what it looks like when you make your selection. So you're going to go category by category. So most of you in 9th grade don't take the history, social science. 9th grade, you will go ahead and select, the English class that you took. You'll select the math class you took. For example, I made the selection for biology, 9th grade, and you're going to go ahead and put down the letter grades that you received. So this is when it comes really handy to have your transcript right next to you. So I went ahead and just put an A for both semesters. So you go through every A through G category, make your selection, insert your grade, and hit next, and you're going to keep doing that for every grade level. So for example, this is what it looks like once I input all the classes that this student took 9th grade. So here it breaks it down, shows you all the letter grades. Make sure to double check it with your transcript always so that there are no mistakes, and go ahead and continue, and it'll take you to the next grade level, which is 10, 11, and 12. And one thing that I wanted to show for 12th grade that a lot of students get confused about is American government and economics. So a lot of you think that government is a full school year. However, it is only a semester, and economics is a second semester. So what you're going to do for that is first semester government for grade 1, it will already have pre-selected in progress. And then for grade 2, you're going to go ahead and put NO, which means that you did not take the course that semester, so you will not have a grade for that. And similarly for economics, instead of second semester having a no, you're going to put a no first semester, and then second semester you put plan. So for all of your courses your senior year, it will already have pre-selected in progress for grade 1 and plan for grade 2 because you do not have any grades yet. So once you input all your classes and grades for 9th through 12th grade, it will ask if you attended any colleges in high school. So for a lot of you, you might have taken a concurrent enrollment or a dual enrollment course at your local community college. So if you did so, you will go ahead and select add college. If you did not, you go ahead and just select that you don't have any college to add. So if you did take a college course and once you hit add college, you will go ahead and select where you attended the college. So for a lot of you, it will be in California, and then you will search up the name of the college. So Tennyson's closest community college is Chabot, so I went ahead and just selected Chabot, hit the search bar, and there it popped up. And I hit select next to Chabot College, and then it will ask when you attended this college. So you will go ahead and put the month and the year that you started as well as ended. It will also ask which grades and terms you attended this college. So again, if you took a course 10th and 11th grade, you will select 10, and at another grade, select 11, and it will ask what term you took it, as well as what grading system that college had. So Chabot has A through F, so I will go ahead and make that selection and hit save and continue. And here it gives you a little summary. If anything is wrong, you can go ahead and edit. If you did take courses at any other college, you will go ahead and again select add college and put down all that information. If you did not, you can go ahead and select that you are done adding college courses. And once you select that you're done, it will ask you to select what class and what grade you received in those courses. So for the student, I selected that they only took one class, 11th grade, in the summer. So I will go ahead and select enter course and grade. And here it breaks down a couple acronyms, some grade codes, just so that you are aware of what they mean. And on that same page, you look for and then select the course that you took. So I went ahead and just said that the student took general human anatomy. So I went ahead and selected that as well as what grade they received. And it also asks for you to select what subject area. So if you don't know what a subject area is, that is A through G. So because anatomy is a science, I went ahead and selected biology/life science, which is in the subject area C for science. So go ahead and do that. And once you do that, you go ahead all the way to the bottom and hit save and continue. Then it will take you to this page where you can review what you just inputted. And if it looks good, go ahead and hit continue. And that is it for the college courses taken in high school. Next, they want to know additional information. So they will be asking for your California state student ID number. And keep in mind, this is not your lunch number, so do not put that. Your California state student ID number can be found on your transcript. Lastly, there is a section for additional comments. So for the additional comment section, I do have another video where I talk a lot more about additional comments. So I will leave it in the description as well as pinned on this page, so you can go ahead and check that out. But this section, to summarize it, is where you list maybe any reasons for certain grades that you received, or maybe you were planning on taking a certain class, but due to COVID, your school did not offer that course. So that is something that you would want to write down in the additional comments, so that the readers of the application know that you did intend to take certain classes. However, it was not up to you and you were not able to, or maybe something happened during a semester that caused you to get a certain grade that you were not happy with. So once you input any additional comments, if you do have any, is the review page. So you are going to go ahead and review all the information on this page. If it all looks correct, go ahead and save and continue, which will take us to the next page, which are test scores. So first off, it will ask about the ACT and SAT. So a lot of you didn't take the SAT and or ACT. So you will go ahead and just select yes or no if you have any scores to report, and save and continue. Then it will ask if you have any scores to report for SAT subject test. Again, I'm sure all of you did not, so you go ahead and select no and save and continue. Next, it asks about any AP exams. So you go ahead and select yes or no if you have any AP exams or if you plan on taking any this next year. So for the ones that you have already taken, you go ahead and list them below, as well as the date that you took them and the grade that you received. And you also put the AP exams that you plan on taking, as well as the date that you plan on taking them. Once you have filled all that out, you go ahead and save and continue. And this section asks about IB exams. So that is what I mentioned earlier when I asked if your school had any special programs, which included International Baccalaureate. So you will go ahead and select no and save and continue. It then asks about TOEFL or IELTS, which does not apply to you. So you go ahead and select no and save and continue. Then it will ask if you have taken any international exams. Most of you will be no, so you go ahead and select save and continue. And here's the review page. So once again, you review it, everything looks good, save and continue, and we are moving on to activities and awards. So to add an activity and or award, go ahead and select add, and it will take you to this page where you select the category of the activity or award. So here are your options. You can choose between an award or honor, an educational preparation program, an extracurricular activity, other coursework, volunteer/community service, or work experience. So yes, that is right. If you did work, that is considered an extracurricular activity. And then they ask for a little bit more information about that activity or award, such as the name of the activity, and they want to know what you did. So they don't necessarily want a explanation of what soccer is, if that is, something that you're including in your activity/award section. They want to know what role you had and, what skills developed while you participated in that activity. It then asks when you participated in those activities, so you can select the year or years that you did so, as well as how much time you spent with that activity. It will ask how many hours per week and then how many weeks during the year. So once you make that selection, go ahead and save and continue. Here I listed down 2 activities and or awards. So I selected that I played soccer and that I was on the principal's honor roll. So this is what it will look like, and you can go ahead and either add more activities or hit I finished adding activities. And once again, here's the review page where you can go ahead and review all the activities that you listed. And I know for my activity description, it's only a couple words. Don't do what I did. I'm just using that as an example, but that is nowhere close to how much you should be writing. So next up is the scholarships and programs.
So for this section, you can actually apply for scholarships on here. So these scholarships are specific to certain schools that you selected to apply to. And in order to receive these scholarships, you do have to fill out your FAFSA or California Dream Act application. So some examples of what you can select is under family circumstances. I selected that I will be the first in my family to attend college. I'm a first generation college student, and I come from a single parent household. And you can select a whole bunch of different options that they have there in the drop downs. And once you select everything in the different categories that applies to you, you can go ahead and hit save and continue to move on to the next section.
So once you make all those selections on the page before, you will be on this page where we'll ask about the EOP program. So I know I've talked to you all a lot about what EOP is, but if you want to know a little bit more about it, here's a little blurb on the page. Because you are all in Upward Bound, then you should all be choosing to apply to EOP because most of you qualify for the program. And for the UC application, it's so much easier than the CSU. All you have to do is check the box and just write a quick sentence or two as to why you're interested in EOP. And once you do that, you hit save and continue. And again, here's another review page. Look through it, hit continue, which leads us to the personal insight questions. So here's just an introduction page that gives you a couple tips. For the PIQs, you can just go ahead and hit continue. And here are all the questions. And once you are ready to answer these, so again, you should never answer these questions on the actual application. You should always have them on a Google document or a Word document so that you don't lose your responses. But once you do have your responses and you've made sure to send them to your advisor, to a teacher, to a counselor, as many people as you can to revise it, you go ahead and hit answer. And the question will pop up as well as a box for you to type in or copy and paste your response. Once you do that, save and continue. And once you have answered all those questions, the last part is a section for you to include any additional comments. Again, I have a video titled UC versus CSU comparison where I have updates about the additional comment section in this UC application. So I will not go over this right now. If you do have questions about additional comments, you can make sure to contact your advisor or go ahead and watch that video that I mentioned. It will again be in the description box as well as in the top right corner. And once you add any additional comments, if you have any, go ahead and hit save and continue. And here will be the review page where your personal insight questions will appear as well as any additional comments. However, I did not do them, which is why it says to do next to PIQs. But once you do have that, you go ahead and hit continue to review and submit. So you are pretty much done. So here you will have a check mark next to all the sections that you have completed. And as you can see, I haven't completed the PIQs, which is why there is no check mark next to it. And once everything is check marked, you can go ahead and hit start submission. The next step, if you did not qualify for a fee waiver, will be to pay for the applications. Each application is $70, so keep that in mind. So once you make your payments, then you will officially be able to hit submit. So congratulations, you have officially applied to the UC system. I know it's really time consuming, but I definitely promise you it's worth it. I'm a product of the UC, so you will be in good hands. But once again, congratulations, take a breather. You did it, you're almost there. And again, I do want to remind you that if you had any questions that were not answered in this video, please make sure to reach out to your advisor. We are always here to help you. And if you have not started on your CSU or your FAFSA application, they will also be on our YouTube channel. So go ahead and check them out. Baccalaureate? International Baccalaureate? International Baccalaureate. Right?